This is the third part of chapter Force and Laws of Motion for class 9. So far we are discussing Newton's laws of motion and we have already completed the first law of motion in previous class. In this class we can study the second law of motion. The first law of motion indicates that when an unbalanced external force acts on an object, its velocity changes and hence the object gets an acceleration. Now we need to study how the acceleration of an object depends on the force applied and how we measure that force. Let us consider some observations from our everyday life. During the game of a table tennis, if the ball hits a player, it does not hurt him. On the other hand, when a fast-moving cricket ball hits a spectator, it may hurt him because here the velocity of the ball is high. A truck at rest does not require any attention when parked along a roadside, but a moving truck, even at a very low speed of 5 meters per second, may kill a person standing in its path. A small mass, such as a bullet, may kill a person when fired from a gun. These observations suggest that the impact produced by the objects depends on their mass and velocity. Now there is a quantity that combines the object's mass and its velocity. One such property is momentum, that is introduced by Newton. The momentum P of an object is defined as the product of its mass m and velocity v. That is P is equal to mv. Momentum is a vector quantity. That means it has magnitude as well as direction. And the SI unit of momentum is kilogram meter per second. Now let us consider a situation in which a car with a dead battery is to be pushed along a straight road to give it a speed of 1 meter per second, which is sufficient to start the engine. If one or two persons give a sudden push, it hardly starts. But a continuous push for more time results in a gradual acceleration. It means that the change of momentum of the car is not only determined by the magnitude of the force, but also the time. So we can conclude that the force needed to change the momentum of an object depends on the time rate at which the momentum is changed. The second law of motion states that the rate of change of momentum of an object is proportional to the applied unbalanced force in the direction of force. Now, the mathematical formulation of second law of motion. Suppose an object of mass m is moving along a straight line with an initial velocity u and it is uniformly accelerated to velocity v in time t by the application of a constant force F. Now, the initial momentum is given by P1 is equal to mu, since the initial velocity is u. And we can write the final momentum as P2 is equal to m into v. Here, the final velocity is v. Now, what is the change in momentum? The change in momentum is proportional to P2 minus P1, that is final momentum minus initial momentum. Then substitute for P2 and P1. P2 is mv minus P1 is mu. Here m is a common parameter, so we can take it out. So we can write the change in momentum proportional to m into v minus u. Now, the rate of change of momentum is proportional to, in order to find the rate of change, we need to divide it with the time t. So, we can write it as m into v minus u divided by t. Or the applied force. This rate of change of momentum is the applied force. So, applied force F is proportional to m into v minus u divided by t. Now, we changed the proportionality by a proportionality constant k. So, we can write F is equal to k into km into v minus u divided by t. And what is v minus u by t? That is, change in velocity divided by time is simply the acceleration. So, we can write F is equal to km into a, that is v minus u by t is a, acceleration. If suppose the proportionality constant k is 1, we will get F is equal to ma. This is the mathematical formulation of second law of motion. And the unit of force is kilogram meter per second square or Newton, and is denoted by capital letter N. This is all about second law of motion. Thank you for watching.